Good morning, students. Today we'll continue with the colligative properties. Yesterday we have seen two colligative properties, that is relative lowering of vapor pressure and elevation in boiling point. Now today third colligative property is depression in freezing point, delta Tf. Now as we know that freezing point will be temperature at which liquid will freeze. That is, liquid on cooling changes its state to solid. If we plot a graph of vapor pressure versus temperature, all of this temperature, this particular liquid is in liquid state. At this particular point, which is called as delta naught Tf, means freezing point of pure solvent. Below that temperature it turns to solid, means it freezes. Now this is freezing point of pure solvent. Suppose a solute is added to that solvent, then it turns to solution. When it becomes solution, its vapor pressure decreases. So these are the decreased vapor pressure of the solution. Now at lower temperature, then it will convert into solid. Means its freezing point is decreased, and that decrease in freezing point is called as depression in freezing point. So on addition of solute, freezing point of a liquid decreases. That is called as depression in freezing point. This is the difference in temperature by which freezing point decreases. Delta Tf is T naught F minus Tf. So this is the difference which is called as delta Tf, which is depression in freezing point. Now it is also obtained for 0.2 degree Celsius or 0.3 degree Celsius, small degrees, it's not much. Now as we have seen yesterday, delta Tv was proportional to n. Similarly, delta Tf is also proportional to n, that is concentration of solution, expressed in molality. So when I want to remove this proportionality sign, I have to introduce a constant, that is Kf, and Kf is molar depression in freezing point constant. Since it is calculated in molality, it is termed as molar depression in freezing point. It is also known as cryoscopic constant. Another name for Kf is cryoscopic constant. Now, if I substitute for formula for molality, then my equation becomes delta Tf is equal to Kf multiplied with W2 upon M2 into 1000 upon W1. So here we complete depression in freezing point. Mostly numericals are asked, or else the definition is asked. Fourth colligative property, and the most important colligative property, is osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure is denoted with letter pi. Now, we have studied osmotic pressure in lower standards, not its definition, but we have studied the process of osmosis. First, let us see what is osmosis. Suppose there is a large vessel in which I place a separating membrane, which is called as SPM. Full form of SPM is semi-permeable membrane. And on this side of the compartment, I place a solution with concentration C2. And in this side of compartment, I place a solution with concentration C1. If C1 is greater than C2, means this is higher concentration and this is lower concentration solution, then this particular membrane, which is called as semi-permeable membrane. Now semi-permeable membrane allows only solvent molecules to flow through it. It allows only solvent molecules to flow through it. It does not allow solute particle to flow through it. So what happens? That solvent from lower concentration compartments starts moving through semi-permeable membrane and continues to move in higher concentration compartment till concentration in both the compartment becomes equal. When concentration becomes equal, the flow stops. So the movement of solvent molecule through semi-permeable membrane from a solution of lower concentration to higher concentration is called as process of osmosis. So this is osmosis. Please do not compare definition of osmosis which you are going to do in 12th standard with lower standard things, because in lower standard the definition given was from higher to lower, which is wrong. In 12th standard you have to remember the solvent molecule flows from lower concentration to higher concentration. Remember the direction. Next is osmotic pressure. Now suppose you want to stop this flow. If you want to stop the flow of solvent molecule, or if you want to stop the process of osmosis, you have to apply pressure in this compartment. If you apply pressure in this compartment, the flow of solvent can be stopped if the pressure is higher than osmotic pressure. So if you want to stop the process of osmosis, you have to apply pressure on the higher concentration part of the system, so that flow of solvent stops through semi-permeable membrane. So osmotic pressure is defined as pressure required to stop the flow of solvent molecule through semi-permeable membrane from lower concentration compartment to higher concentration compartment, and it is denoted with letter Pa. Now pi is given as osmotic pressure is equal to CRT, where C is concentration, R is gas constant, and T is temperature at which the process is carried out. As we know that C is equal to N upon V, that is number of moles of solute present in given volume of solvent. We can write it as pi is equal to N2. Here I am concerned with number of mole of solute divided by V RT. N2 upon V RT. What is N2? As N2 is W2 upon M2. We get pi is equal to W2 upon M2 into V into RT, and this we will use in numericals. Now osmotic pressure is the most reliable method to calculate molar mass of a solute. You have seen that in all the formulas, whether it is relative lowering of vapor pressure, or it is depression in freezing point, or it is elevation in boiling point, in all those chemical formula, molar mass was there in the denominator. So molar mass of a solute can be calculated if we calculate osmotic pressure and we know how much of solute we have added. So these qualitative properties are reliable method to calculate molar mass of unknown solutes. Now after defining what is osmotic pressure, we have to also study its application. Now application of osmosis, main application is reverse osmosis, or what we call it as RO. We all have RO plants at our home because our area water is hard. So we make it soft through the process of reverse osmosis. RO full form is reverse osmosis. Now what happens in it? There are two compartments as usual. This is compartment with lower concentration. This is compartment with higher concentration. Now, as we know that in osmosis, solvent molecule flows through SPM from lower concentration to higher concentration. we will reverse the direction. Now how we can reverse this direction? We can reverse this direction if we apply pressure on higher concentration solution which is greater than osmotic pressure pi. Means if we apply pressure equal to pi, the flow of solvent stops. But if we apply pressure higher than pi, the flow of solvent is reversed. So solvent molecule starts flowing from higher concentration to lower concentration in reverse osmosis. Thus we get here pure water or pure solvent. So suppose this is a saline water which has dissolved salts in it, and solvent molecules flowing process is reverse, that is reverse osmosis. By applying pressure higher than osmotic pressure, then direction of flow of solvent is reversed. It starts moving from higher concentration to lower concentration through SPM, and we obtain a pure solvent or pure water, and this process is called as reverse osmosis. Also the other application is found during pickling. During pickling of mangoes, the mangoes shrink. Now why do it shrink? Because these mangoes are kept in a salt water. Salt water is higher concentration than whatever water is stored in mango. So what happens that water in mango is in lower concentration. So through the skin of mango, which acts as an SPM, water flows out. That is why the mango shrinks during pickling. Then if flowers are wilted, wilted means they are just, what we say in Gujarat is karmai gaya. If they are wilted flowers, to revive it or to make it fresh again, we put it in water, fresh water. Because wilted flower will have more concentration of salt. Fresh water is having less concentration of salt. So water will flow through semi-permeable membrane into flower. So they will become fresh again. Then you also have seen raisins. Dry raisins, if you soak overnight in water, what happens that raisins will swell. Now why the raisins will swell? You have soaked it in water which is at lower concentration. So when you are soaking it, through the skin of raisin, water flows inside the raisin. So the dry raisin again swells up. So this is about process of osmosis and its application. We'll continue in next lecture about few more terms related to osmosis.